All right, how's it going, everyone? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Today is day 8, path 18. We are reading on Characith, or Characith, today. Let's begin. The 18th path is under the aegis of Cancer. Its tunnel is sentineled by Characith, whose number is 640. Cancer is the astroglyph of the Holy Grail, and 640 is the number of KVS THNCHVMIM. Presumably Kaf Vav Samek Kos or Kus, and then Tav Nun Ket Vav Mem Yod Mem Kos Tenok Vamim. The Cup of Consolation. Kostenak Vamim. I am assuming that pronunciation. It is the number of the Cup of Consolation, 640, and that which consoles the adept on the path of Ket is the Grail of Our Lady. Such is the nature of this chalice, which yields both ecstasy and magical immortality, that its kalas are highly addictive. Should the adept linger over long in this tunnel, the addiction becomes obsessive, and he runs the risk of becoming a vampire. Draining cup after cup of the hell broth distilled by the great harlot, the mother of abominations, who yields eagerly to the dark desires of those who are drunk on the wine of her fornications. The magical formula of this kala is Cunnilingus. Never seen it spelled that way. I guess I have, a long time ago. The magical formula of this kala is Cunnilingus, which, if it exceeds the proper limits, leads not only to the death of the partner, but also of the magician himself. Note, death by depletion. The order of Cliffoth inhabiting the tunnel of Characith. The order of Cliffoth inhabiting the tunnel of Characith is therefore known as Shechiririon, the Black. I forget how to say black in Hebrew, otherwise that would probably help here. Shikairirion. That's probably entirely wrong. Shikaririon. Rurion. It doesn't. Anyway. In the Arcana of Thoth, the letter Ket, 8, is ascribed to the path 18. And it is significant that the positive reflection of the negative Cliffoth assumes the form of Krishna, the charioteer. Note, Krishna means literally the black one. Apollo the charioteer is also attributed to this path, and the Lord of the Triumph of Light, a title of this Atu, is reflected into the tunnel as the black son of Tiferet, the child of the waters of the abyss that swirl in the grail of Babylon. If you take a second to look up the Chariot version, or the Crowley Harris version of the Chariot in the Thoth Tarot, it actually displays the grail with these swirling essences. Okay. So, when the sun reddens or sets, he is said to be drinking the blood of the goddess, or performing the higher form of Cunnilingus, an expression used in a certain secret comment on the Kaula rite of the Vamamarg, sometimes known as Vamamarga. Note, see the Typhonian trilogy. The number of Characith, 640, is also that of Shemesh, or Shamash, Shin Mem Shin, the sphere of the sun, which equates to MMSK, 640, meaning a drink offering, Mem Mem Samek Chaf Mamask, whatever, and Tav Mem Resh, Tamer, the palm of the hand, and a palm tree. The dates of the palm tree are connected with the phenomena of menstruation. See note, The Cults of the Shadow, Chapter 2. The sigil of Characith should be painted in dark greenish brown in an amber-hued circle. It shows a downward-facing mummy, overshadowed by a camel-headed entity that issues from its feet. I will actually show that image. You can see here the man and what is being referred to here. Okay. It shows a downward-facing mummy overshadowed by a camel-headed entity that issues from its feet. The image is, as it were, concealed in the name Characith, for 640 is the number of Mem Pe Lamed Zari Tav, the horrible idol, simulacrum horrendum. Mepletzot, maybe? The camel is the ship of the desert. Its symbolism has been explained in connection with the 13th tunnel, which crosses the abyss via the path of the priestess of the silver star. The camel is also attributed to the 18th path, where it functions as a beast of burden. The crab, turtle, and whale are also included because this path is under the aegis of Cancer, a watery influence that represents the most vital element in astro-magical workings. The siddhis associated with this kala are bewitchments and the power of casting enchantments. The name of Characith should be vibrated in the key of D sharp, accompanied by the plashings peculiar to magical fountains or waterfalls. The cup and the furnace are the appropriate magical weapons. Let me read that again. The cup and the furnace are the appropriate magical weapons. And in the symbolism of the vegetable kingdom, the watercress is attributed to this kala because the combination of heat and moisture, fire and water, typifies the contents of the cup that contains the fiery dew of the goddess. The appropriate verse from Liber 231 declares, "He rideth upon the chariot of eternity. The white and the black are harnessed to his car. Therefore he reflecteth the fool, and the sevenfold veil is revealed." This implies the orderly ruling of diverse forces. The white and the black are the two suns of the upper and lower horizon, or the height and the depth. The infernal furnace of Amenta, or Amenti, and the supernal sun of the frontal tree, Tiferet, the solar force, Heru Raha. Heru Raha, Heruraha, is here implied, for the white and the black are Ra Horkuit and Horparkrat, and it is not by chance that the initials of these gods total 640, the number of Characith. Note, HRH plus RHK plus HPK equals 640. Those are presumably Hebrew letters. The sevenfold veil is that of the goddess of the seven stars, who is diaphanous in her luminosity. He, note, Osiris, the dead, he reflects the fool, that is the hidden light, that is A between I and O, Isis and Osiris. A is Apophis, the god Set in his Ophidian form. He is the light that imbues the grail of the goddess drained by the adept. The magical formula of the 18th Kala is Abrahadabra, the key of the rituals mentioned in All Note L20. This is presumably Liber All, the book of the law. These rituals include that of the 8th degree OTO, Google it, which unlocks both this path and the 13th path, the tunnel of which is unsealed by the rite of the 11th degree, or 11th degree. See note. See remarks on page 205. Okay. Had, H-A-D, Had is the heart of Abrahadabra. Meditating on Had and Hod. Anyway, as Apophis is the heart of Iao, the heart girt with the serpent cup. Excuse me. Had is the heart of Abrahadabra, as Apophis is the heart of Iao, the heart girt with the serpent set, that pulses with the Ophidian vibrations swirling in the cup of Babylon. The 8th degree has thus a positive link with the 11th degree, the lunar current. This is balanced by the 9th degree, which is the key to path 19. Note, see remarks concerning the relation between tunnels and the formula of sexual magic. The African god Loco, L-O-C-O, is a denizen of the tunnel of Characith. He is a god of forests who, together with Elere, E-L-E-R-E, Ojehun, O-J-E-H-U-N, and Abiku, A-B-I-K-U, evil spirits of jungle and desert, contrives to enter the wombs of women in order to be born into the human life wave. Alright, moving on into the Shadow Tarot by Linda Falorio. Characith, the Shadow of the Chariot. Okay. There is power in the ability to take whatever one wants/needs without regret to sustain life, energy, creativity, that one may do one's work. All right. Vampires are created of those who linger here to drink, for they too easily become addicted to the pleasures of the pursuance of their dark desires. Draining life to sustain their energy and life beyond its ordinary span, they acquire the power of bewitchment, casting strange enchantments to lure fresh victims to their astral touch. The vampire sphinx have thus become dread Denata, wow, embedded in the luscious touch of pink. The entrance of the tunnel of Characith is the Grail, the Yoni, the soft pink flesh of the mother, who herein distills her hell broth of ecstasy and magical immortality. Shadowed within is a symbol of the god Set, of the identity of the phallus with the Cateus, or corpora cavernosa, clitoris with prostatic glands, prostate, cf. Eve's Secrets, a new theory of female sensuality. The Ophidian serpent curls upon the sigil, extending a forked tongue to a shimmering drop of the elixir of immortality which has been distilled into the cup. Hint, hint, hint. The two red suns represent the two suns of the upper and lower horizon, even as they appear to be the puncture wounds inflicted by the vampire's abominable nightly habits. Symbolic of the reddened moon, moon of blood, black sun of Tiferet, drinking the blood of the goddess, they too are linked with the magic of the 11th degree. Subliminal reminders, they engender nostalgia for a long-lost planet far beyond our world, where there are two moons. In the south swims the turtle, upon whose back rests the unmanifest universe, flanked by crab and whale, blissful denizens of the watery realm, which is the foundation of all astro-magical workings. The wheeling bat, a creature vilely reputed to live on human blood, evokes repugnance, yet dark desire and delight, while leprous nocturnal hands hold back the veil, proffer the cup, inviting us to drink. Here's the image again. Okay. Characith meditation. The powers of Characith are the abilities to take what one wants to satisfy one's needs and to ensure survival at any and all costs. Here in Characith is found boundless energy, creativity, and eternal youth. Working in Characith bestows personal magnetism and a fatal sexual attraction, which may be turned on as one will choose. In Characith is the enviable ability to live in the moment, to accept all manifestations of existence as bliss, and lose oneself in mindful ecstasy. Need to work with the tunnel of Characith is signaled by the experience of feelings of abhorrence at the basic formula of this planet, that life must feed upon life. This may manifest as intolerance and refusal to take responsibility for our base animal instincts and their inevitable outcomes, as well as unrepressed horror at alien life forms and their noxious feeding habits, and displeasure at sea tastes and the smells of vital sexual fluids, with implied disregard for the feminine element in nature and in oneself. Dangers of the glamours of Characith are entrapment in the astral world, where all one's desires are instantly met in a world of one's own creation. I'm going to read that again. Dangers of the glamours of Characith are entrapment in the astral world, where all one's desires are instantly met in a world of one's own creation. There may be physical exhaustion from too avid pursuit of its pleasures, and even death at the tongues of vampires more powerful than oneself. One may give into wantonly taking other life, energy, and resources for one's own satisfaction, refusing to give up the ghost, to refuse bow to inevitable decay, and death to make way for fresh forms of life. All right. And moving into Tunnels of Set, Pathworking by Asenath Mason. Asenath Mason. Okay. Envision the image of the sigil coming alive, moving and growing, until you see it spreading before you, like a landscape that you can enter. Visualize the darkness. Visualize that darkness flows into the room through the image, and clouds of red mist fill the ritual space and envelop around you. They carry the smell of fire and smoke, incense and blood, all of this mixed with, guess what, the smell of female sex. When you get to this point, extinguish the candles, close your eyes, and with the image building up in your inner mind, send a message to the guardian to guide you through the experience. Visualize that for a moment everything fades away and the whole world disappears. Then the darkness around you crystallizes into a scenery. You are standing in front of an entrance that looks like a vulva surrounded by flames. As you enter the tunnel, you feel the strong smell of female sex in the air, mixed with incense, as you feel as if you were treading on soft flesh, warm and full of juices. As you go deeper, the fluids change into a sea of blood. It becomes deeper and deeper with each step, and eventually you emerge on the other side facing a ghastly pale moon hanging low at the horizon. As you stare at it, you become entranced by the dim, slowly pulsating light and the gentle rocking of the waves. Suddenly, the moon changes into a giant snake head, with poison dripping from its tongue. You let it drip upon you and drink this lunar elixir, with each step immersing deeper into the sea. Let this energy transform you and assume a shape that feels the most natural for traveling through the realm, a snake, dragon, or some other nocturnal creature. Open yourself to this experience, and when it is over, travel back to your body, return to your normal consciousness, and close the working. All right. That concludes today's readings. I'm considering sharing some of the visions that I had in Characith. Since we've got some extra time here, this was my last working through. I'm not even sure if there's anything that's worth sharing for other people. Let's see. I'll share this one. Wow. This was actually on my birthday. I did not... Okay. This was on... Well, since I just said it was my birthday, I'm not going to say what the day is. But this was on my birthday at 10:39 p.m. This was day 6. A sarcophagus lies before me with the tools of the magus in skeletal form, a skull chalice, etc. I remove the items from the sarcophagus and place them beside. I climb into the sarcophagus, grab the items, place them in there with me, close the sarcophagus, and begin to see visions of the night sky. Some personal stuff. So yeah, you get the idea. Yeah, so if you're not sure how to go about receiving visions, I typically have 2 different kinds of so-called visions, ones that are voluntary and ones that are intrusive. I've talked about this on the channel a little bit before. There are times where I go into a deep state of trance, and then I begin to see images and hear things, oftentimes which have great personal relevance, and every once in a while they will have relevance to other people as well. Then there are ones that just sort of like happen, and those ones are typically pretty intense. They are sometimes accompanied with seizure. Those ones are not the ones that I was logging in my path workings. The way that you can go about this is just learn the correspondences of the path. So we're talking about Characith now. So Cancer, the letter Ket, images of crustaceans, water, moon. So if you wanted to induce a vision of Characith, keep in mind you have to have the ability to actually, focus. You got to turn off your TikTok mind. You got to be able to actually sit with yourself and hear your own thoughts. Once you can do that, one way to envision or to incite a vision within Characith might be, imagine that you're sitting on a beach under the moonlight, full moon, completely alone. And maybe there's like the caw of seagulls, searching for prey in the moonlight. You hear the waves, you feel the sand, and as a cold breeze blows over the sea, and you're hearing the waves crash back and forth, the cold breeze sends a chill into your spine, and then you have this impulse to go into the water. You have this impulse to ignore all instinct and survival and just walk into the bottom of the ocean. And perhaps as you walk into the ocean, you begin to notice that there is a massive crustacean down there. And the second that you see it and you become thrilled with the presence of it, perhaps you can shift your consciousness into it. Or perhaps you pick up a sharp piece of coral and you cut your hand and you offer the blood to the crustacean. Those of you who are more artistic will be able to use this prompt. You'll be able to make your own, you'll be able to continue. I'm not really going to turn this into a guided meditation video. If you're working in the tunnels, you're probably already so traumatized that you have the gift of art anyway. Or you have the experience of path working and traveling in the spirit vision. So this should be enough of a prompt. Anyway, that's all for this video. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you all have a great rest of the day, great rest of the week, depending on what day you're watching this. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them below in the comments. If you liked the video, you think you know someone that might benefit from this channel or these videos, share the video. But yeah, anyway, that's it. Take care, and have a great rest of the week. Take care.